right, very good morning, everyone. And we're just so glad to be here. Thanks so much for Luno for inviting MyPF for the Malaysia relaunch of Luno. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's our pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. We're just so glad to be here. And here we have the Luno's Southeast Asia General Manager, David.
Yes.
Yeah, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
So I'm David. I'm the General Manager of Southeast Asia for Luno. What that means is I support operations and expansion in the region for Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. But I'm Malaysian, happy to be Malaysian. So I'm based here, and I'm glad that for once, we have a milestone to celebrate to relaunch Luno's business in Malaysia.
Right. Yeah. And that's really great to see
Yes.
that milestone being reached. So looking at Malaysia, looking at Southeast Asia. So how is crypto investing in Malaysia and even on a slightly broader scale, Southeast Asia compared to the rest of the world?
So surprisingly, from our understanding from the market, in the way we run our business across the whole world, across 40 markets, Malaysia is actually a pretty mature market for crypto, right? A lot of people here, if they ask what is Bitcoin, most people don't know. But the depth of knowledge in other markets is even much lesser. A lot of Malaysians are surprisingly a lot more aware about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And that's proven by the fact that Malaysia is actually one of the largest markets in Southeast Asia since 2016, right? The number of users that we have, people, it just shows us that there's a lot of demand for cryptocurrency, as well as a thirst for knowledge for what crypto can do for the Malaysian society in general. And we're just excited to be here.
So it's really good to hear that that knowledge among Malaysians is there. So what do you think are some of the key drivers that drive Malaysians to be so knowledgeable about?
I'll be honest. Malaysians being Malaysians, we love to look for ways to make money.
That's true.
So as much as the thirst to accept new technology is there, I think a lot of Malaysians are always hungry for alternative means of investing.
I know I am. Yeah.
Exactly right. So things like stocks, bonds, and stuff like that. It's well known. People do that. But I think beyond that, people are also looking for new ways to diverse a small part of their investments into an alternative investment that might go wrong at one point, but might even 10x if things go right. So I think that thirst for wanting to multiply their asset, that hunger, to really grow their wealth, is one of the key drivers for Bitcoin adoption in Malaysia, right? So that's one side of the picture. And I think generally speaking as well, Malaysians in general, compared to other cities around the world, has also been very acceptive of new innovations, right? So the best example would be your marketplaces, right? Lazada grew in the region, one of the fastest in the region first, before other markets start taking off. You have another example like e-hailing, right? Grab, right? Anthony Tan, who grew the e-hailing business, he grew it out of Malaysia first, right? So this kind of tells you that Malaysians in general are very receptive towards new technologies, and we're very ready to change, right? And that has kind of fueled the entire growth of a new crypto blockchain sector in Malaysia as well.
Wow. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And speaking about change as well, so crypto has come quite a long way, from its wild days when it first started out.
Yeah.
So how do you see crypto continue to evolve and change over time?
So I think crypto in general is still a very new market. Despite us having approval, we have regulatory framework for cryptocurrency. It's actually still a very early day, right? How we see right now at the moment crypto has always been a source of storage of value.
Right.
So if you have extra a few K, right, in your bank account, right, instead of putting in your bank account and you might potentially lose to inflation,
That's true.
People might decide to take that money, either park it in FD or park it in stocks or bonds. And crypto is actually generally one of the choices for Malaysians to consider to park their money just to store the wealth.
Sure.
And on a second thing, crypto is also obviously seen as an investment, right? A lot of people are excited, even though the media always paints crypto whenever crypto goes down. But it's actually the volatility that has provided opportunities, for people to trade actively, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a double-edged sword kind of.
Exactly right. If it's a flat market, nobody's excited about, nobody talks about it, right? But if it's a volatile market, obviously it's not great for average investors who doesn't know how to invest. But for more sophisticated investors like stock traders, it's actually a pretty interesting market, right?
Because you can stomach the risk and
correct,
right?
Yeah, I mean, if you apply your fundamentals in investments, if you use your analysis on charting crypto, right? There are good fundamentals in a way where you can actually profit from the gains on a day-to-day basis, right? Yeah. So we see people doing that actively, right? So that's a secondary use case for crypto, right? There's also a small segment of users in Malaysia, and we're starting to see a lot more growth in the market, who actually use crypto as a way to remit their money, right? So for example, if you use bank, right, to remit money overseas, it'll probably cost you, let's say you want to remit 20 ringgit, 2,000 ringgit lah, right? Sure. You probably spend about 20 ringgit just to remit that money from bank to bank, right?
It's not cheap.
However, if you use cryptocurrency, right, let's say you want to remit the same amount of cryptocurrency into, let's say, overseas in Indonesia, you only spend like less than 30, 40 US cents, right? And that's only about like less than 2 ringgit to remit the whole thing, right? It's 10 times cheaper, right? And easily, right? So I think a lot of people are starting to realize the benefits of cryptocurrency to remit money overseas, and you can even do it within 15 minutes. Rather than compared to Swift, you probably need to wait 1-2 days. With crypto, you can do it within 15 minutes, right? So that's how fast money moves around, right? So
Faster,
that's
cheaper.
Exactly, right? So I think these are broadly the use cases for Bitcoin in general. And I think as we see the market matures a lot more interesting projects coming in, we're gonna start seeing a lot more actual use cases for other stuff as well.
All right, yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
So for Malaysians who are new to Luno or new to crypto even, so what would be the best way for them to approach investing with cryptocurrency?
So what my advice will always be, if you don't know the industry, if you don't understand what Bitcoin is, you can just download our app. Very simple. You don't have to buy. You can just download our app. In our app, even before signing up, there's an explore section where you can learn about cryptocurrency in general, right? So we have simple articles.
It's part of the learning center.
Correct. It's our learning portal. You can access the articles like, for example, what is Bitcoin, right? What are the benefits of Bitcoin, right? Simple articles like that is published. I would write it in a very simple way so that people understand the technology in general first. So that's what I would recommend as a first step. If you want to gain more knowledge as well, you can just Google online and understand the use case of cryptocurrencies and why people are saying that blockchain is the next internet that will revolutionize the entire industry. So understand the technology a lot more better as well. And once you start understanding the benefits, the use cases, and why there's such a huge demand for it, then I think I suggest that you can start looking into investing a little bit, right? Don't put all your funds into
What would be
crypto.
a little bit?
I'd say depending on portfolio, right? But I always go on the percentage. If you start with 2 to 5% of your overall portfolio, that'll be a fairly good one. But don't put anything more than 30%, right? That's at a maximum, right? So, but start small. Always start small. Buy a small amount. You can even buy as low as 3 ringgit, for example, in crypto, right? You don't have to buy 30,000 ringgit. Yeah, exactly, right? A lot of people misunderstand. They think that you need to buy one Bitcoin. That's not the case. You can actually buy a fraction of Bitcoin, right? And it can go as low as 3 ringgit, right? So just start with that. Start really small. Understand the market. And as you get in, then you start looking at the charts. You start understanding the use cases. You start seeing a lot more demand. You start engaging the communities here. And then they kind of gives you a lot more information to make a more informed decision.
Growing process.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. So it's like you buying stocks, right? If you want to buy stocks, understand the stocks first, right? Buy a small sum, and once you have a lot more belief in the stock, then you invest a lot more on the stock, right? So that's how you should approach cryptocurrency as well.
The similar approach, right?
Yes.
I'm going to throw a curveball and one last question for David here. So with investing, one school of thought is that when investing in crypto, there are no fundamentals involved in analyzing crypto itself. So how then would you approach looking at crypto as an investment?
So you're right to say that there is, I would say crypto has no fundamentals, but there hasn't been an established practice of analyzing cryptocurrency as a form of investment. However, having said that, I think you can look at this traditional price chart. And if you just pull the chart, right, over since 2009 when Bitcoin was introduced, right?
Historical 10-year.
Yeah, it's still a 10-year right, basis, right? You'd actually realize that it has actually gone from strength to strength, right? Every 2-3 years, it's always gone from strength to strength. But if you just look at 3 months as a basis, then you realize that it's a bad market, right? So it depends on when you go in as well. But always take a longer-term approach to cryptocurrency. Like any investments, take a minimum of 2 to 3 years, right? I think that should be the way to do it. But if you want to analyze, there's a lot of articles that's being published around the world, right, on how to analyze Bitcoin price trends and stuff like that. There just haven't been a case where there's an established institution who basically creates a standard practice to analyze the asset class. We will definitely, right? Because it's still early days. We will, right? There are a lot of theories being thrown around of people how to analyze it and predict the price movement, right? It's just that I think because this interest is so new, you just don't know which one is an established model, right? There are practices, just that you take time. You take time.
I think that's natural. That process.
Correct, right? Yeah. The process of figuring out, and the market will figure out by itself as time goes, lah. But as a newbie, again, put a small sum, learn about technology first, right? And always take a long-term view to investing in cryptocurrency, like any other investment asset class.
All right. So we have David Low, Luno's General Manager for Southeast Asia. Thank you so much for your
Thanks.
time.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.